Hi, Chip Peterson here again for Game On, Developer Corner for Bass Pro Shop Games. Today we're going to talk about Bass Pro Shop's The Hunt Trophy Showdown. But first we're going to answer a question from Lynn. Lynn asked a question on Facebook, and she asked, Chip, what's the difference between the Hunt version 1 and Hunt Trophy Showdown? Good question. There are a lot of differences. The biggest difference is the career mode. With the career mode, we changed it dramatically, which is much more of a tournament, very similar to some of the new whitetail tournaments that are starting to go across the nation right now, where they're taking top hunters and they're competing almost through brackets, or they're competing as a group to see who can get the biggest animal. And a lot of times they're doing that with cameras because they don't want people in the field with live ammunition and shooting. So nice thing about a video game is that we can do that with actual simulating that. So what it is with our career mode this time around is you're one of the top hunters, you're going in there and you're going to a different region. There's 10 new regions that you're going to, all different animals, and you're trying to capture or bag the biggest trophy animal in that region. It could be a whitetail, it could be an elk, it could be a caribou, it could be a moose. It depends on the region that you're going to. A lot of whitetail, but also a lot of different animals. And you need to maintain a score to be able to make it to the next round. And so, as I said, there's 10 rounds. You make it all the way to the last one. To win the complete game, you need to finish first. So you can work your way through the tournament, but you need to finish the last tournament first place to win the overall game. And if you do, we unlock a special area known as Hunter's Paradise, which is a beautiful area that you can hunt in, and you don't have the restrictions of tags and ammunition. Speaking of that, what we also have added is a time factor and an ammunition limit. So depending if you're an arcade or pro, you're going to actually have more or less time to complete these. And the AI is out there trying to get the biggest animals bigger than you are and move forward. So gameplay wise, it's one of the big new features. We also have many more mini games, and all the mini games now this time around are actually multiplayer, so you can play as a family, 2 people playing at the same time. Besides gameplay, we've radically improved the graphics. You'll see that the forest environments are much richer, much fuller. We have new textures on the trees, new grass textures, new rock textures. So we really enhanced the environments. They're still big environments, and then you can hunt the way you want to hunt, but it's a different game, Lynn. So hope that answers your question. Second part today, we're actually going to go hunting, and what we're going to do is go to, in particular, the first tournament. I'm going to use in-capture video, so don't worry about, we're going to be playing off the screen here. So if you bring up the GPS by pushing the 1 on the Wii remote, you'll see the map here in Missouri, and I marked places with pins. And you can do that by moving the thumbstick around, and if you find a place that you want, you push the Z trigger, and boom, it puts a mark on. You push the C, removes that one. So if I've already kind of staked out an area that I like to go to, I've seen some big bucks around here. These other icons with the little hunter are minigame icons where you can go in and play some minigames while you're in the hunt itself. Those are important, especially in the pro mode, because you have less ammunition. You can actually compete, and if you beat the minigame, you can get more ammunition and actually additional tags. And that will help you as you progress through the tournament to get more points. So we're going to go here. The whitetail is the target in this tournament. I'm going to jump in and start playing, and hopefully we're going to get some big bucks. And hopefully I won't miss. So let's go hunting. All right, let's start hunting. We're going to start out in the Missouri, the first tournament. As you can see, I already have some pins down. There's some game trails up there that I want to go after. So that's the direction I'm going to be heading from. Before I start out, I want to put my scent eliminator on. Normally in hunting, you only have to put that on once, but in our game, you have to do it a couple times. It's part of the gameplay. I'm going to be heading off toward that area right now. As you can see in front of me, I have a trail marker. And as I approach it, I can push up on the D-pad and it'll tell me the direction the track is going. This track is actually going back toward the lodge. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to continue to head on going forward. So you can see some of the graphics here I talked about before. We have much denser forest. Also improve the animal textures and the animal models. You saw a little rabbit go by, so there's a Mr. Rabbit right there. We have a lot of ambient animals that are in there. You can shoot these animals. A couple things to be wary of, though, is you can get some points, but also it can scare other animals away. As if you notice, I just saw a deer. So I brought up my scope by pushing B, and you can get some information on it. This is a smaller deer, and so this is where the strategy comes in as far as, do I want to go after that animal? Do I want a bigger one? In this case, I want to do better in the tournament, so I'm going to pass up this smaller deer and hopefully go after a bigger deer. So that's what's going on right there. I'm looking at my map. I'm at the edge of the lake, and I need to get around that lake. So what I'm probably going to do is speed the video up and cut to a point that's closer to where I want to be. Okay, as you can see, I've jumped across the other side of the lake here, and there's some tracks ahead of me. And let's see where those tracks are headed. One's headed down a side trail. I can see a raccoon down there. That's something I'm really after. So I'm going to keep going on. This is, once again, this is a game trail in the game that I've seen deer on. And so normally I wouldn't be, trucking through the forest like this, making a bunch of noise. I'm just trying to get to a spot, like I'd be in a stand or up in a tree. But I've seen these tracks. I noticed there's a deer ahead of me. So what I'm going to do is I went into stealth mode, crouches me down. It also makes me more hard to see. I'm being quieter. You do that by pressing the minus button. Now I'm going to bring up a call. What I like to do is use calls to bring the animals in. So I use the doe bleat. So I make a call. I know I've been successful with the call now because the animal heard it. I transitioned to it. If I wasn't successful, you would get a message saying that the call wasn't successful. So now I made that call, and now that deer is moving toward me. And so I want to get a good shot off, so I'm down low behind this tree, using stealth, trying to be as quiet as possible. And I'm going to bring up my scope again here, and if I'm very still and you hear that whoosh coming in, what's coming on is our stealth vision, and I'm actually seeing inside the animal. I'm seeing where the lungs are and where the heart is, and I'm going for that perfect shot. Took a shot, got him. Must have hit it in the lung or near the heart. It was a kill shot, but I didn't get a perfect shot. If I got a perfect shot, I would have the bullet cam. So I can claim my animal. Weight's 222 pounds. Got an A grade for it. 88-yard shot, one-shot kill. Bonus, used a rifle, not a bow, so I got 90 points for that. So look at the leaderboard right now. That's put me on top of 90. I can also have tags for 3 more tags for whitetail, turkey, boar, but I also can get the king of bucks and the legendary bucks. So those objectives are still out there for me. So let's continue on hunting and see what we can find here. Okay, I've moved locations. I'm actually a little bit away from where I originally wanted to hunt. Haven't seen anything, so I'm going to try some new tactics here. Going into stealth again, I see some tracks, starting to follow those tracks, trying to see if there's anything ahead of me. Trying to be as quiet as possible as I'm moving through the woods here. So I think I'm going to try to go to a call again to see that was successful for me last time, so I'm going to bring up the call. Execute the call. Okay, got a buck, but doesn't look as big as the last one. Had a smaller rack, body was a little bit smaller. called it, but I don't know where it's coming from. A lot of times you can pick up signs to see where it's coming or it's close. You are close if you can get a call off. It doesn't go very far, but I still don't know where it is. So I'm going to try something again. I'm going to put a little pillow estrus down because I see the wind's blowing out. So I'm hoping that the wind is going to take the scent away from me, cover me up. I still have my scent eliminator on, which helps. And hopefully this will attract the deer with the call. So I'm kind of doubling up, using scents and calls right now to try to bring a buck into me. And this is, you know, big thing about our game. One of the differences is we actually use the tools. Okay, I did get successful. I did pick up the scent. So I do have a deer that I've called, and it's picked up the scent, and it's coming toward me. I'm kind of scanning around to make sure something's not coming up behind me, because I don't want something to be spooked, because that's going to spook the other animals around me. So I need to set up my location. Let's look where we are again. I'm kind of on the far edge of where I want it to be. That's the yellow line. Cone is kind of showing you where I'm at. Brought up the scope, and I see the animal coming near me. So once again, I push the minus button, and I'm going into stealth mode. And I'm going to try to set up by this tree, hide behind this tree, and try to get this animal in as close as possible and try to take a shot at it again. I'm going to try to do the kind of buck fever here, screwed up, and trying to do the call. So I'm trying to do the call again. I'm going to call one more time. Okay, definitely call was successful. So hopefully I can get this in close. Last time, oh, my scent eliminator's fading, so I want to put that on again because I don't want to spook it. So I got my scent eliminator going for me. Bringing it in close. It's coming right at me. So I am going to actually try to get it with a bow. It's a small one. Probably not going to do much points for me, but I'm going to try to bring up my bow here and take a shot. And by moving to my bow, I've actually scared the animal away. And as you can see, it's running off. So moving around, making noise does make a difference in the game. So I missed it. Well, I hope that helped. I did get one buck. I used a call to bring him in, which was fun. That's the way I like to hunt. It's not like a first-person shooter where you're running around in these games. You can stalk them. I kind of found the area where I wanted them in. I saw some tracks. Then I used the call to bring them out and brought them into my location. Second time, I did the same thing again, but I tried to be a show-off and try to switch to my bow. And when I switched to my bow, I actually made noise, and that scared the animal off. So it was a small one anyway. So I hope that helps a little bit of showing where some of the bigger deer are in the first level of Missouri. That helps you with the tournament. And also, deer hunting season is pretty much coming to an end. Hopefully you're successful. Hopefully you got some big bucks. And now it's starting into, up here, it's starting into archery again, into muzzle loading season. So if you're going out there, good luck with that. Big congratulations to my friend Eric. He got not one but 2 bucks this year. He got one in the early season with the youth hunt under 12. And then first day Wisconsin rifle season, he got another big buck. So congratulations to Eric on that. And anyone else who got their first buck this year or more than buck. So thanks a lot. Remember, if you have any other questions, go to Facebook at BassProShopGames.com or leave a comment here. And good luck out there. And we'll probably come back next week with some more strike questions or some more hunt, depending on what you want. So happy hunting. Be safe out there. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.